Hi guys, welcome back to another video. What we have today is a little Mazda Demio. It is a little Chinese or Japanese import or whatever you want to call it. What we have, I'm kind of jumping into this, so it's a little bit hair and scarem. It's going to be a short little video because I've started to roll on, and I'm just going to show you something that maybe might be of some bit of interest to you. She's a little 1.5 diesel. Because it was Chinese or whatever, they couldn't get me part number details. But what am I going to show you today? Faults I'm having, and I'm only running on history here. You can see it right there. P049B EGR B, flow insufficient detected. What am I going to be showing you today, right? What anyway is causing this problem is, we have it in hand right now. I had it in hand. I have it in hand. Right, this pipe is blocked solid. You probably don't need to, I don't need to do any weird stuff like blowing on it or putting Mitivax or anything like that. Just take my word on it that that is blocked solid. That pipe is going on to an exhaust pressure sensor, which is that little part. With it being a relatively newer car and they're trying to overcome the old problems they were having, this is the updated version of the pressure sensor. So that's good and doing its job. On my diagnosis, what I had, I was looking at live data and I was looking at exhaust pressure sensor. I think it's A. Anyway, that pressure sensor wasn't changing, or at least the live data on that wasn't changing. Okay, that little thing lives just down there. Normal place on these Mazdas, and it connects onto this pipe. Now, that pipe bolts onto the side of the block here. On the other ones, the Mazda 6s, there was a real awkward banjo bolt that was in the very back, but not on these. It's a little bit easier to get in at from down here. Not a load of room there, but yet in saying that, it's not so bad. So, what am I pointing out? The fault code that we had, as we said there, what was it? I'll go over again. P049B EGR B, flow insufficient detected. Now, what have they created? They have, I suppose, changed the style of these things. So the pipe, the original pipe, is coming down and it does a 90-degree bend around here. And because of the exhaust gas coming out and maybe the bends, I don't know, does the particulate get caught on these bends here quite hard? But because of that, what they done was they created an upgraded version, all right? So the upgraded version is that. Basically what they have is a chamber sitting along here, and the reason for the chamber is that it's a bit bigger, a bit more robust, and it doesn't get blocked quite as easy. It actually doesn't look at all nearly like the piece that we have. So you'd actually think that it is the wrong item, but it is not the wrong item. If you sit it up, the bolt holes, you can nearly see the bolt hole, with my fingers working in the way, I suppose, that the bolt holes are nearly in the exact same place. I know we can't rightly see it, but they are in the same place. But what they're doing is sending the arm back a little bit, in a little bit of space that you have inside there, and giving a bigger chamber for carbon to get stuck in or reside in or whatever it may be. Maybe will over time get blocked and maybe they can't avoid it, but that is what they've introduced to fix this problem, the pipe getting blocked. Now, there's a different gasket. There's a part number for the gasket. So the gasket that sits underneath it is slightly different than the old one. Is it actually? There's actually not too much in the difference, to be honest with you. So the long and short of it is you could potentially use your old gasket, I'd be suggesting. We'll see. Yeah, from that side we'll see it better. Gasket is very, very similar. You can actually see the bolt holes lining up even while it's in the packet. I won't try and open it while on recording or on video or whatever we call it. So there's the part number for the gasket if you want to replace it. Now that gasket, as we said there, is the exact same. The part number here is for this upgraded version, and what we're doing is I have it out of it. We took it out of the car, and what am I going to, I suppose, show only by hand and by visual. Take out the battery, take out the airbox, battery tray, and then there's a couple of not intercooler pipes, air feed pipes that run in from the airbox and stuff to get in here and onto the turbo and that. Then this little bracket lives in here. I'm going to show, there's a little turbo control solenoid that actually bolts onto that, but it's very easy to get in at. And then these that little bolt there and that little bolt there, when it lives in here at the back of the engine, is a little bit awkward. I have just, you know, a little 8mm ratchet spanner here with a little swivel head on it, which is handy. And then the actual pipe is supported by a bracket here on the back of the block. That's a little bit more awkward to get in at, to be honest with you. And I actually used an 8 spanner with that little step on it, just to get a little bit of depth so it'll come out and clear the pipes. This is basically the problem that's caused in our EGR flow B. When the EGR valve, the second EGR valve, they're stating it correctly. I'm stating in this thing when they call it EGR flow B, because that's A sitting up here, running across into the intake manifold. Basically what it's doing is when the EGR valve down there is opening, it's looking for a drop in pressure at the exhaust pressure sensor, but it's not seeing it. And because of that, then it's giving us that flow problem or fault, okay? Anyone that wants to, I suppose, could try and maybe disassemble the cooler and all that. It is buried down here by the turbo. It's not the nicest yoke to get in at, but you don't need to get in it. Change that pipe. Problem's going to be resolved, and away you go. Okay, I'll stick it back together. And I don't want, look, it's only a talk, maybe a walkthrough on disassembly rather than me actually doing it step by step and bit by bit. So that, if you see that and think it's wrong, it's not wrong. There's your part number, as we said. Pressure sensor doesn't need to be replaced on these things once it's that version, which I believe it is on most of them. Yeah, that's kind of it. Not only a fast little stupid little video, but hey ho, Mexico, this is what we're showing you there today. Just, I suppose, the pipe and the upgraded version that's there. And if you get that fault code, what you'll be looking at. Rather than looking at it, EGR system, going to look at an exhaust pressure sensor and look at the live data and make sure the pipe is clear. If you really have a doubt, take off the pressure sensor and just put a Mitivac, or if you want to be brave, put a pipe on it and suck. I'd probably say blow. You don't want to do that. So yeah, if you're basic and just put a pipe on it, and if you can't blow through it, you know it's blocked. Get that thing replaced. There's 3 size 8s holding on to the side of the head. That's buried just in there. You can see all 3 of them, can you do? You can kind of see all 3 of them there. But that's it anyway for today. Yeah, it's only a small, fast little video on that P049B fault. Yeah, look guys, please like and subscribe if any of my hints and tips are any good to you, and I'll see you all in the next cartoon. Small, stupid, little fast one. Talk to you soon, guys.